The build to Fastlane 2021 began with Edge challenging Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania 37. Feeling like a failure after his loss to Roman Reigns and seeing Edge point at the WrestleMania sign, Daniel Bryan was determined to write his own ending and main event WrestleMania. Bryan went on to defeat Jey Uso in a proving grounds match inside of a steel cage, earning a singles title against Roman at Fastlane. Edge then added a final twist, defeating Jey Uso on the Go Home show to be the special guest enforcer for the match. Will Daniel Bryan call his shot, break Roman Reigns, and main event WrestleMania one last time? It's time to rewind the Bloodline. Before we get started, don't forget to acknowledge us. If you are new to what we're doing here, we are taking you back through the entire Bloodline story, and we are only a few weeks away from WrestleMania 37. So go back and check out the rest of the uploads on the channel and support us. But Goose, we were very underwhelmed with Daniel Bryan between the Royal Rumble and the Chamber, but this build to Fastlane has been awesome. So let's get to it.
All right, we are at Fastlane 2021, which aired live from the Thunderdome in Tropicana Field on March 21st, 2021. We start the show with the WrestleMania logo and Cole's voiceover, the brilliance, the splendor. And we're getting these highlights of Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and Shane. We got a Shane highlight in here somewhere. So the deep voice comes over.
These are the moments that are remembered.
But there is still time
to change the future.
And then we get the tires screeching, man.
And it can only be determined.
Tom Phillips says, this could be a WrestleMania altering night. What happens next can change the course of everything. And then we get the Roman and Daniel Bryan cut-ins with Edge being the special guest enforcer. We then get a Shane versus Braun tease. He calls Braun Strowman stupid, calling him and then we are also getting Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton. So a heck of a show here tonight, man.
And the big voice comes in once again.
And now, Old Spice presents
WWE Fastlane. And there is more pyro than you can ever imagine or think about. And Michael Cole tells us that it is the final stop on the road to WrestleMania. And for the first time ever,
the very first time live on Peacock.
So we got our first Peacock PLE. It is launched and we are rolling. Cole plugs Peacock one last time and lets us know that it will be the exclusive home to WrestleMania.
So we get to talking smack yesterday with Paul and Kayla. Paul says,
Daniel Bryan is a hope,
is a prayer, and Roman Reigns
is where prayers go to die.
He says that WrestleMania is built on Roman Reigns,
sun around which the entire WWE universe shall orbit.
This package was spectacular. Man, this was so good. They are hitting on all cylinders. You can tell that they were putting a lot of time into the Bloodline in this story in particular. I loved it.
And it needs to be noted that this package did a great job encapsulating what has been a great story. Yeah. I was not ready for this to be built as well as it was, as quickly as it has. And they really did a nice job condensing this all down, catching you up to speed. But it's been good stuff. This hasn't been, we're going to cut the best of crap and turn it into something good. This is, we're taking the best of the best. Awesome.
Metalingus hits and we are ready to rock. Edge comes down as the special guest ringside enforcer for the match, and Graves tells us that it is a great opportunity for Edge to scout, and Cole tells us that as special guest enforcer, Edge will have the authority in this match for the Universal Championship. And I thought that him coming out here in the street clothes as an enforcer was weird. Like, I don't understand why he wasn't in different gear, like some sort of referee gear.
Yeah, or at least the Tyson look, right? like sweats and a cut off of your wrestling t-shirt, something like that. I completely agree. So Bryan's music hits, he's firing up the screens, and Cole is telling us how much confidence Roman has, but Bryan has the intangibles. And he reminds us of the WrestleMania 30 mountain that Bryan climbed. And Graves reminds us that Daniel Bryan, in a bold claim, promised to tap out Roman Reigns.
Roman's music hits. He is flanked by his special counsel, Paul Heyman. Graves repeats that the sun that the WWE revolves around line, and Roman's pyro hits. He raises that title above his head, and Cole tells us that earlier today, Roman said, "I am the constant. I am the inevitable."
Cole then says that no elite grappler has never not tapped out, meaning if you spend enough time on the mat, you're going to tap eventually. So will this be Roman tonight? Good on you, Cole. We then get callbacks to the chamber as Roman slowly enters the ring, and we're reminded that both men are 5-time world champions, and the winner will face Edge in 3 weeks at WrestleMania, so it's literally right around the corner. Roman gets another round of pyro, raises the belt, and it's introduction time.
And Cole tells us that Roman is in his 203rd day as Universal Champion, and will it be his last? The bell rings, and here we go. And Bryan is trying to single leg Roman at first, and he's almost jovial. And Roman is just flatline, cool and focused here. This was an awesome beginning.
Bryan baits him in with the tie-up, and then it gets in a kick to get it started. They back off. We get a collar and elbow. Reigns then sets the tone with the forearm to get started. Reigns is now trash-talking Bryan right away. They separate. Bryan goes down. He picks a leg. He tries for a submission, but Roman gets the ropes.
And Bryan is taunting Roman as he shoots, and then he gets a leg, but Roman gets to the ropes again. And this is exactly what Bryan wants. Roman is playing right into Bryan's comfort zone. Come on. Like the mind games from Daniel Bryan here. Like, this was a really cool approach. It's one that we haven't seen yet. And I really like that with each new challenger that we have for Roman, we're seeing different tactics to try to get to him. Like, not one person has been the same.
He has wrestled in however many main events, I don't have a count right in front of me, that we've seen since he's regained this championship. Mm-hmm. And we have not seen the same match twice, which is awesome. There isn't the John Cena match, the Ric Flair match. Mm-hmm. These are all different matches, and good on you, Tribal Chief. Like, that's really impressive. So we get into a test of strength. Bless the Lord, man. You know we love us a test of strength on here. Bryan rolls Roman into an armbar, and then Roman gets to the ropes. And now Roman looks irritated, and Bryan is looking really confident.
And Bryan is smiling at Roman. He's throwing jabs at his stomach, and Roman is growing more frustrated. And Bryan starts throwing leg kicks, and then Roman just powers him into the corner. He gets him in a headlock, and he snaps him over to the mat. And this is everything has to do with technique versus power in this match. You could tell it right away.
Yep. We're telling the story, brother. So Paul is smiling and rubbing his hands as Bryan slides out, starts working over Roman. And while this is going on, Paul's demeanor then just changes, and he starts going off with anger. Yes. So he's all good, and then he's breaking, similar to what is happening to Roman. Yes. Paul's emotions are slowly mimicking Roman's, which is a really neat little layer here. So Bryan gets Roman into a submission. Roman rolls out and then starts throwing strikes at Bryan. And Roman is now seething at this point, but he's getting the heat onto Daniel Bryan.
If Bryan did that to my shoulders, they would pop off like Buzz Lightyear's arm. Like, you'd be waving to the crowd with my arm. There's no way. So Bryan cuts him off with a huge drop kick, and now he starts making the comeback with more grappling and kicks. And then Bryan starts working Roman's shoulder again. They move to the corner, and they are trading strikes. Bryan runs to the opposite corner and does his patented step-up backflip as Roman runs into the turnbuckle.
Roman cuts Bryan off with a big twisting slam for 2. He starts rubbing Bryan's face into the mat, and now Roman's getting heat again. Really methodical forearms. He hits a suplex, gets a near fall, and Edge is just looking on. Bryan then tries to fire up from his knees, but Roman cuts him off again, and then he's just starting to lay in stomps.
And he throws Bryan into a chin lock, and he just starts trash talking him.
Nice grip right here. High school.
The screens start clapping as Bryan starts another comeback, but Roman back body drops him into the corner and he gives him a big right hand to send Bryan to the outside. Edge and Roman are now jabbering back and forth, and Roman throws Bryan into the barricade, and this actually feels like the first time we're actually seeing some Edge involvement, because literally to this point he's been a complete non-factor.
Yeah, good call. Like he literally is the guy in street clothes just standing there watching. It's like you got the best seat in the house.
Yes, he's green shirt man.
Yes. So Bryan tries to go back and get another comeback outside. Roman posts him and throws him into the ring for another 2 count. As Bryan is selling on the mat, Cole's reminding the viewers that Bryan knows he does not have many opportunities left at main eventing at WrestleMania, and this could be it, and he's feeling it slipping through his fingers. So we're getting that story across as well.
Yes, and Bryan rolls over to a corner and he starts pulling himself up, and as he does, Roman says, "You gonna get him?" And he hits him with another blow, and Paul on the outside is screaming,
Listen to your tribal chief.
That was the best part of the match for me up to this point, because that made me pop huge. So they're now both in the corner, and Roman is telling Bryan to say his name.
Looking at my camera right now.
He throws Daniel Bryan into the opposite corner. Bryan cuts him off with the drop toe hold to the turnbuckle. Bryan hits Roman with some yes kicks, runs to the opposite corner, runs in and nails Roman with the drop kick. He then perches Roman up on the top rope, goes for the Hurricane Rana, but Roman stops him cold, drops him down, and walks him into a Boston Crab.
When he started walking out there, I thought he was going to put him in a Styles Clash.
Same, dude. Absolutely same. I was freaking out.
Yeah,
freaking out.
So Bryan is now toiling. He's reaching for the ropes, but Roman goes to pull him back in, but Bryan rolls him up into a cradle for 2. And Bryan has answers for everything that Roman is doing to him.
Yeah, the smart technical wrestler, dude. It's really, like you said before, it's power versus technique over and over and over again here. So Bryan gets up, runs the ropes, and he nails Roman with an elbow, and we have the double down. Cue the "this is awesome" if we had crowds. Like this spot was literally agented to get that. Yep. Then they get up. Bryan's hitting Roman with strikes. Roman then hits Bryan with a knee lift, and Bryan is able to then send Roman to the outside.
Bryan goes for a dive, but Roman catches him and goes to power slam into the table. Bryan slides out and he posts Roman. He runs off the apron and hits Roman with a knee from the apron. So now he throws Roman back into the ring. Bryan climbs to the top and he hits another knee to the back of Roman's head. Paul is looking on as Bryan is climbing the opposite corner, and he goes from the top and he hits Roman with a huge missile drop kick.
Yeah, this was an awesome series here. Bryan is still selling the beating that he took earlier. He finally gets over to Roman for the cover, and because of the delay, Roman kicks out at 2. Bryan is now nailing Roman with yes kicks as Paul is looking on like he has indigestion at first. Yeah. And then as Bryan throws more kicks, Paul sells each kick on the outside. So Roman gets kicked, and Paul goes, Roman gets kicked, goes like side to side, dude. It was awesome. So as Bryan goes back for the last big kick, Roman catches his leg, throws him into the corner, and starts nailing Bryan with strikes and knees, and then he stomps a mud hole into him in the corner.
And Roman used his power to get back into the match, and I just love that the story that they are continue to tell here. And as Bryan goes for a takedown, Roman blocks. He goes to get Bryan up for a powerbomb, but Bryan is able to roll him into a Hurricane Rana, and Bryan gives the big yes, and he nails Roman with a yes kick to the back of the head. Bryan covers, and Roman kicks out at 2.
And now Bryan is talking to Roman, dude.
You're about to get broken.
Bryan's doing the talking here. He's telling him he's about to get broken.
And you could actually feel like Roman was actually in trouble here again.
Yet true peril. That's what the build to this point so far in this match is just A1, man. So he grabs Roman's wrist and he starts kicking his head in. He then rolls Roman into the yes lock.
And this is such a pivotal part of the match. If you remember last week on the show, Roman said he would rather die than submit to someone like Daniel Bryan, and that moment was right here.
Yeah, and especially with how it was set up, where we came, it was perfect. So
Yes.
Paul's looking in complete disbelief in the background as Roman is selling so hard going for the ropes. As he does, Bryan rolls him over and locks it right back in the center of the ring. Roman is finally able to work his way out. He starts hitting Bryan with forearms. He picks him up. He drops him down with a power bomb. He stacks him, but Bryan again kicks out at 2.
And both men are now down selling, and Cole is doing a great job with putting over that both men want to headline WrestleMania. So we're not forgetting what the stakes are for this match is. And Roman is on the ground. He's literally seething. He's talking to himself, fuming with anger. And both men get up in opposite corners. And Roman is charging the turbo for the spear. And he runs into Daniel Bryan as he hits him with a boot.
In the corner, Roman Reigns caught by a kick by Bryan.
The ref stands up Roman, who's selling the boot, and Bryan then goes for the Psycho knee, and of course, he nails the ref. But dude, this ref took an incredible bump.
Yeah.
This was excellent, man. He rolls out by Edge. Roman hits a spear. Edge now finally comes in. He counts the 2, an honest 2 count, but Bryan kicks out.
Again, this is why I hated Edge being in street clothes. He is now the official of this match, and he's just a dude off the street. Is the only thing taking away from the main event big match feel here, and it's my only critique of the match so far.
So Cole tells us the official's now down and Edge has the authority in this match. Roman is jawing at Edge. Edge tells him that he's just doing his job, worry about doing his own. And now Roman's going on about coming into his arena to Edge. He asks Bryan what he's trying to prove. He then starts wailing on Bryan with forearms a la the Elimination Chamber. But Bryan is able to grab the arm and get Roman in the triangle.
And Bryan has learned from past experiences, and he has answers now, which is really smart psychology here. So Roman powers Bryan up into the powerbomb position, but Bryan starts hitting him with rabbit punches, and he rolls Roman into the yes lock.
Dude, I know the result of this match, okay? I know it. And still I believe that Bryan's about to win this thing.
Yep.
It's incredible, dude. So Bryan is just mashing Roman with forearms, and he's putting it in again, and they are just dead center in the ring. And then, of course,
Gonna tap. Wait a minute, Jey Uso!
out of nowhere, Jey Uso comes in and starts spamming super kicks to Edge and then to Daniel Bryan.
Jay checks on Roman, and then he goes out and grabs a chair. He posts Edge, grabs the chair, gives a baseball swing, but misses. And Bryan hits Jay with the Psycho knee. Same old Jay. He was on a good run where he was actually doing things that made sense, and the same old Jay happened here.
Yeah. Now he's just got to be, blind with rage and slip on a banana pill. So here we are. So Bryan now grabs the chair and starts wailing with it. And this is where we need to pause to say, why couldn't this have happened at WrestleMania 41? John, you're a Cody guy. Give me 30 seconds on Cody and the title belt.
This is the difference between when you have a smart baby face and when you make a baby face look stupid. Because in this match, Bryan, who's played a smart baby face throughout, he takes the chair, he has his chance, and he takes it. And it's not taking away from the fact that he's a baby face. It doesn't make him look less than. It makes him look more. I want to support him more because now the heels are getting their comeuppance. And what they did at WrestleMania 41, where Cody has a choice to make, and he fails to make that choice, and it costs him the title, and he looks like a total geek. It's infuriating because they spent so much time making Cody look so strong for years, and they do that, and we've been giving Daniel Bryan a push here for 10 days at this point? And
it feels like it.
Mind-boggling.
I'm gonna make Uso pay!
At the end of the day, it's as simple as Daniel Bryan used the chair because the bloodline cheats all the time. And you said the perfect word, comeuppance. They're getting theirs. Cody got beat down by 3 men in a 3-on-1 beating. As a shoot, busted his eardrum, got a black eye, and could have given comeuppance and didn't take it. And we'll get to WrestleMania 41 in 3 years.
So back to Fastlane here, but Bryan's mouth is busted open, and he looks at Roman. He runs in, pulls back, swings for the fences, but Roman ducks out and Bryan explodes Edge's elbow with the chair, and that had to suck.
Yo, dude, he ate the whole thing with the pointy end. Like literally immediately, I was like, his bursa sack isn't there anymore. Gone. Gone.
Yes.
So Roman then immediately hits a Superman punch. Paul tells him to finish him. Roman runs at Bryan for the spear, but Bryan steps aside and gets Roman into the yes lock again. And Paul's now screaming at Roman.
And Roman is selling this insane. This is so great. Paul is screaming about his family. And Roman taps. He actually taps. I couldn't believe it. So now we have to keep this moment right here in our back pockets moving forward, because this will play a pivotal role, because he said he would rather die than tap, and he tapped out.
And this is such a bigger deal than getting a visual pinfall.
Yes.
Like this was something, man. And it was built to this. And he was selling it. He was selling it like he was about to tap. And the best part was he did it. I actually liked it more that he did than he got some like Herculean Hulk comeback or whatever. Oh my God, this was good.
So Edge then hits Bryan with a chair, and then he hits Roman with a chair, and then he hits Bryan again. And this, again, another super interesting part about this match is that Edge called out Roman for snapping and losing his cool, but that was exactly what happened to Edge in the end. There is so much psychology in this match. It is so incredible.
Yeah, good pickup by you, man. So Edge is furious, and he screams, "This is mine!" He pounds the mat, and he walks off seething. Roman's now selling his arm. Bryan's out on his back. Another official runs in. Roman then drags himself on top of Bryan. 1, 2, 3. Roman retains, and wow.
Yes.
What a match, man.
We knew going in that this was going to be a good match. This exceeded my expectations.
This was, so far, this was my favorite Roman title defense.
Oh,
I like this more than the Drew match.
yeah, I agree. Same. So the closing words of the show are that the stage is set. Roman Reigns will defend against the winner of the 2021 Royal Rumble, Edge. And you just kind of gave us your early thoughts here, but what else do you have to add here, Goose?
To me, if I'm rating this on a 5-star scale, easy 4 3/4. 5 is perfect, right? It wasn't perfect, but my God, was it close. And that was just an awesome professional wrestling match. I didn't care about the finish because it all made sense. It all matters, and it's all leading to something bigger. So bravo. What do you give it, John?
This is the easiest 4 3/4 stars I could ever give here. This match surpasses the McIntyre match from Survivor Series, like you said. So we have a brand new favorite match here in the storyline so far. I absolutely loved this match. There's so much story. I think that's what really makes the match great, is there's a lot of storytelling.
So Meltzer gave it 4.5 stars in the Observer. There's a lot going on with this match and with WrestleMania. So there's your tease to tune in next week and see what's happening. Please join us for the fallout. There's some stuff that I could not talk about. So first match, Shayna rolls up Sasha for the pin, and we're shown photos of Shane McMahon injured during training for his match, and he has a stupid Express shirt on. Dude, I couldn't get over it. A Braun Strowman Express with duct tape with stupid over top of it, X-Punk style.
My word.
We then get Elias backstage trying to negotiate with Shane to get on to WrestleMania. We get shown these highlights of Shane pouring green slime all over Braun on Raw, and then we actually get to the match. Elias takes Shane's place, and then Elias gets killed by Braun Strowman. So that was something. Also that happened on this night, historic night here at Fastlane, Reckoning walked out on Ali, and then Mason slapjack chokeslammed Ali to end Retribution. That happened on the pre-show. We skip forward. Randy Orton is going to wrestle Alexa Bliss. They're in the ring. He starts puking black. Callbacks to our Warrior Papa Shango curse episode when the channel first started. Drop that link in there. People, go check that out if you're into anything spooky. And this match started. Alexa had fire rise from the ring. She dropped a lighting rig with just her eyes. She kissed the flame at Randy Orton like Mortal Kombat. And then Randy, in the middle of the match, gets grabbed on the foot by a burnt to a crisp Fiend. The burned Fiend then rises from the ring to Sister Abigail him. And I know that I just brought back a memory that you tried to shell in the back of your mind.
I totally forgot that the burnt Fiend was at Fastlane. I was
Yes, sir.
forgetting to it, and I didn't even see this. All I watched was the main event, and I can't believe I didn't see any of this.
I saw the card, dude, and I unfortunately did not watch not unsanctioned, but like a street fight between Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, so I could watch Shano versus Braun Strowman, maybe, and then Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton.
Oh my word, that is all time. After that match, we are reminded that WrestleMania has two hosts, Titus O'Neil and Hulk Hogan, brother. We mentioned that last week here, but the advertised matches for WrestleMania are the WWE Championship, which is Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre, the Women's SmackDown Championship, which is Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. The Raw Tag Titles are New Day as the champs versus AJ and Omos in his in-ring debut.
We love Omos on the show.
We do. And the Universal Championship, which is going to be either Daniel Bryan or Roman Reigns versus Edge in the main event. So this is a perfect time for us to unveil to the listeners here that for WrestleMania 37, we are only a few weeks away from that here on the show, and we are going to do both nights of WrestleMania here on the channel. Obviously, we are a Bloodline-centric show, and we don't want to deviate from that, but we feel like this is an interesting look into not only where we are in the timeline of the Bloodline, but for the entire WWE as a whole and as a business. So it's WrestleMania, and who doesn't love WrestleMania? So we're going to do night one week, and we're going to come back with night two, and I am excited for it. I cannot wait for it, Goose.
It's just the same way that they used to say that Survivor Series was the one night each year where both brands faced off or whatever you want to call it. This is going to be our one time each year that we just drink it all in, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, John, great match.
Yes.
A lot of fun. Who's on your island of relevancy this week?
Daniel Bryan is going to be again on the island of relevancy here because he lived up to his word by breaking Roman while also in the process of breaking Edge at the same time. And he is doing amazing babyface work here. Absolutely chef's kiss. Bravo to you, Daniel Bryan. This was excellent. So that's what I have on my island of relevancy this week. Mongoose, who are you tossing into the ocean of obscurity?
This was an easy one, man. It's Edge. Edge is gone. And my mind might have changed had Edge been in better gear, but we had street clothes Edge throwing a tantrum, impacting the finish of a near perfect wrestling match. Even though I loved his role here, sort of didn't really serve one until the very, very end. So by default, he's got to go in.
So that was part 22 of the Bloodline Rewind. We are coming back next week with the aftermath of everything that we just talked about here. We are also going to take you backstage as we do, since we have an odd number of weeks to WrestleMania. We are going to do some backstage news along with the flout of Fastlane. And then the following week, we will give our WrestleMania go-home shows. And then in 2 weeks, we'll give you the night one of WrestleMania and follow that up with night two of WrestleMania 37. So if you are new here and you made it this far into the show, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and let us know what you thought of this show, because we thought that this was great. Let us know in the comments what you thought. And with that, I'm Johnny Bake Show.
I'm Teddy Mongoose.
And we just called it in the ring.